Thank you very much for sticking with me here. Right now we're actually inside of an auditorium. This is the typical setting where I usually speak, and I absolutely love what I do with a passion to be able to share my knowledge and experience and expertise with people like you. And so what I'm doing right now is basically giving you 10 topics that I typically focus on when I speak to different agencies or corporations or nonprofit agencies. And we're going to talk about those today. The first one here today is what I call personal branding. Personal branding, as I mentioned before, is all about understanding who you are, understanding your gifts, understanding your talents and abilities, and how you can really use those to help other people, to help yourself become the best person that you possibly can be. You see, society has a way, as I mentioned before, of limiting what you can do. But personal branding really takes the time to understand all your unique tendencies and characteristics and traits and abilities and molding them into one so that you can share that with the world. Number 2 is what I call understanding your potential. Potential, potential, potential. It is a great word. Get used to that potential. Potential does not cease when you're 80 years old. Potential does not cease when you're born. Potential does not cease when you're 30 years old. Potential is always something that you haven't accomplished yet or you haven't done yet. Potential in its rawest form right now is a seed that lives inside your soul. And it's our responsibility. It's your responsibility. It's my responsibility to get that potential to be released and exposed to the world. Number 4 is what I call purpose and power of visual communications. It's so important that everything you do is communicated in an excellent way. Whether it's verbally, okay, whether it's you're a writer, okay, whether it's design, you want to do it in the most effective way that people will say, you know what, I like that. I want to do business with him because he presents himself or she presents herself in the best way possible. Number 3 is what I call design is credibility. What you do is credibility. Everything you do it with credibility. Do it with excellence, okay? Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. And this one, we're specifically talking about graphic design, web design, and all the other forms of communication. Number 5, redefining self-promotion. Redefining self-promotion. I honestly believe this. Especially here on now with the world changing, you have to be able to sell yourself and sell yourself effectively. We're in a world living in competition, okay? But it is what you bring to the table that separates you from everyone else. So we want to basically understand how to promote yourself effectively. What are some of the channels that you can do that? What are some of the websites that you can go to? And how to present yourself in the most powerful and effective way. Number 6, design defines your destiny. Now, I'm not talking about graphic design or web design or anything in regards to visual communications. I'm talking about your past experiences, who you are, the way you've grown up, your parents, your lifestyle. You know, those things have a direct effect on where you are today. And it's important to understand that. So we're going to talk about how your destiny is really defined by your past. Not all of it, but a good portion of it, okay? And we're going to talk about how to make that happen. Number 7, vision and leadership. We all need vision, right? We all need it. But we also need great leaders as well. What is a good leader? What is the definition of a leader? Who are some of the leaders that have influenced you in your life that allowed you to become the person that you are today? So we're going to talk about vision and leadership. It's one of my favorite topics because I believe, honestly, we live in a world where we just have managers. We need better leaders. People who lead by example. People who allow their life to speak day in and day out. Those are the people who are leaders. I am who I am today. I have accomplished what I have accomplished today simply because I've had some wonderful leaders and individuals who put the vision out there for me and I grabbed hold of it myself. Number 8, we're going to talk about what I call branding your business God's way. I am a believer, absolutely, okay? And what that simply means is that I believe that God exists and I believe that He controls everything in this world, including my life, and that He was the one who gave me ability to speak and design and do all these wonderful things. It is my responsibility to be able to give that back to Him. We're going to talk about how to brand your business, okay, or how to brand yourself God's way. We're going to use scripture, biblical scripture, and references on how to do that effectively. Number 9, for those of you who own a business or want to start a business, we're going to talk about 20 keys that allow you to run your business in a successful manner. You know, keys are really interesting because keys actually have the power to unlock something, right? But unless you have the right key for the right lock, don't expect anything to happen. We're going to give you 20 keys that allow you to focus specifically on your industry, that will allow you to have the kind of business that you want, okay? And number 10, which is very passionate for me, is churches. Churches need to be able to brand themselves in a positive manner, brand themselves in a way that Scripture talks about, in both word and deed, but also in regards to visual communications. How do you brand yourself effectively to a world that is constantly changing? We're going to talk about that today. There's some more things we're going to discuss with you, pretty predominantly about services, so hang on, and I look forward to seeing you back here in just a second.